October saw the launch of an exciting new collaboration between perfume house Clive Christian and the Royal College of Music. Students from the college have been challenged to compose a piano piece inspired by one of the 3 Clive Christian perfumes, with the winners receiving a prize of £1,000. Victoria Christian explained where the idea for the competition came from.
My father, about 2 years ago, fell in love with a piano. It was a unique piano that was created, I think it's about 130 years old, which is about as old as the perfumery, and it's in a beautiful deep red rosewood Steinway piano. So it has a pride of place in our home in Cheshire, and no one in the family can play it. So I suppose that's really the seed of where the idea came from, because there's quite a parallel between that piano with no one to play it and a bottle of perfume with no one to smell it. It needs someone to tell its story. So we started our partnership through Steinway with the Royal College of Music.
I'm going to introduce now Victoria Christian. Victoria is going to introduce this really quite extraordinary project. We've never done anything quite like this before, where you guys are going to be writing music based on perfume. Victoria.
Thank you, Phil. Well, good afternoon, Royal College of Music. I take it this is the cream of the crop of the composition world.
Of course.
I am going to introduce you to the 3 perfumes. So I'm going to ask you to place those blindfolds on your eyes for no other reason that it will knock out your sense of sight and hopefully enhance your sense of smell and get those composition juices flowing. Now, we all know the love story of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. Well, there are actually 2 perfumes within 1872, one for the Queen and one for the King. So from the front here, I'm going to spray 1872 for women, and from the back, we'll be spraying 1872 for men. So hopefully there will be a lovely crescendo in the centre where King and Queen will meet. 1872. And what kind of words come to your mind when you smell that? How does that feel to you?
I thought it was quite gently, it kind of just came across very slowly. It wasn't very intrusive, but it was a kind of presence.
Aha. We're now going to move into different territory. This is actually the most expensive perfume in the world. So this is a perfume that is released in a limited production every year. The crop is approximately 1,000 bottles only for the whole world. This is built on the traditions of the 1800s, but there's a different feeling. It's sumptuous, much warmer than that scent. I think in today's world we may think of it as an evening or a red carpet perfume. Lift those noses and prepare to meet number 1. How did that differ, do you think, to the first one?
I think it seems to have just be a little bit more assertive.
A little bit more assertive. That's a great word, I think.
I thought there was more energy with it. I could...
more spicy.
Yeah.
A little more spicy as well. Yeah, you're right. So we're about to meet our 3rd and final contender. And this perfume is in the black bottle. It's not going to undress as the day goes by and unravel as those ingredients fall away. This perfume's called X. And there's a different kind of energy, because this is built around some of Mother Nature's most powerful, natural aphrodisiacs. We may not use blindfolds for this one. Here they come. How does that strike you? A different world? A different feeling? Yeah.
I was going to say it's a bit elusive, and it's kind of, I'm here and I'm not going to tell you what I am. It's like you've got to really try.
Yeah, it's hard work.
To find out what is behind it.
So, we have smelled all 3. the gentle, calming green bottle of 1872, the confident presence of number 1, and the slap you around the face, I'm here, look at me, I'm not going anywhere, of X in the black bottle. If you could choose, who would choose the last one? Really? If you could choose, who would choose number 1? Really? Did you put your hands up twice? Who would create a symphony of all 3? And if you could choose, who would choose green? The 1872. Really? How exciting. We're going to leave it in the hands of fate. No peeking.
I thought the X perfume was quite ephemeral in the way it kind of came over and you just caught a glimpse of it, and rather than it being, you know, overwhelming, it was just kind of there in the background, but at the same time it's quite potent in the way it does come across because it does have quite a strong smell. And I think that when I go away and write my piece of music, that's something that I'll be looking at, something that kind of comes in waves, and so with varying degrees of intensity.
I picked the number 1 perfume, which I was really pleased about because it was actually the only perfume that really spoke to me, I think, because it had a lot of energy and it was very kinetic, is the word I used, and I think I'd be able to relay that really well in my music.
I got 1872, and I think I mean immediately I brought images of the aroma. Just brings images of things mostly my past, childhood, home, and I think it relates a lot to that type of texture in the music.
The perfume X chose me from the bag, and although it's not the one I sort of like the best when I go hold the scents, there's a bigger polarity between the 2 extremes of the X than the 2 others. So I mean, there's really interesting tension can be created through that in the music. It's really important in music to have a lot of tension to release, and I think the X is the one that would portray this much better than the 2 others. So I'm really happy with this choice.
I was quite delighted, actually. I think that they enjoyed wearing the blindfolds. I think their senses were heightened. They seemed to be instantly involved in the perfumes, and I wish that I had been instantly involved in what was happening in their brains to know how that process was going to take shape. I can't wait for February.
The students now have 6 weeks to finish their compositions before the first round of judging in December. We'll be catching up with them in the next few weeks to see how they're getting on.